I'm focused on what I want to talk about today. I'm focused on how we figure that out. What is the issue there? How do people, like you were saying, when they get older, not lean towards education more, not lean towards lectures, but actually they start going clubbing and just saying, forget education, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
I've done with uni. But they start to lose themselves, and you can do what you want. Any person, this is your life. But I feel like you don't grow, you don't if you don't keep educating yourself, and if you don't keep learning, you've kind of become stagnant a little bit.
Yeah.
And if a whole culture is built on that, that's a problem, because how do we teach the next generation to be more education focused? And then linking that in also, talk about class, the people in the upper class aren't doing that.
No, they're not.
They're not doing that. They're teaching them kids very, very young how to focus in this. And you go to these lectures, you see everyone from the upper class there, even old people. So I'm seeing it and I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, okay, cool, there must be a disconnect here. So how do we, first, just can you comment on that disconnect? Where do you think we are going wrong as mandem, let's say, from when we finish uni to when we start going clubbing? Why do you think we choose that path instead of that one?
I think firstly, the clubbing aspect is new. There's a reason that people go to uni and they want to have sex with all these different women and get drunk all the time and all that kind of stuff. I didn't go uni, so I'm lucky that I've never had the uni mentality. One of my friends who did an apprenticeship actually calls it the uni mentality.
Yeah.
So I'm happy I've never had it, whereas I've seen a lot of my friends develop it. And some of them are broken out of the uni mentality quite early, which is good. But I think the fact that it's new, number one, you've got freedom. Number two, that those two alone make people already say, I've done this education thing before. I'm already studying in uni as well. They go to uni to study, remember. The priority of uni, let's keep it a buck. The priority of uni is not to make friends and have sex with many girls and go clubbing and stuff. The priority of uni is to get a degree.
Yes.
That's the bottom line, right?
Yes.
Nothing else. No other things do matter. I told one of my youngers, make friends with learn to talk. I said learn to talk to women.
Yeah.
I said don't get in a relationship. I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah.
You ain't got time for that.
Yeah.
But I said maybe if you see someone you actually like properly and she likes you, fairs, right? But for the most part, don't waste your time with that foolishness, man.
Yeah.
So for me, that stuff is important, right? Making new friends for life, meeting people more intelligent than you, working on your hobbies, which is another thing, hobbies too. But the priority is to get a degree. Don't leave without a degree. Come on, bro.
That's a waste.
That's a waste of your debt. Exactly. It's a waste of money. So for me, I think firstly, it's the fact that you need to understand that, or people need to understand that, even the fact that, I'm going to make the point, it sounds like I'm rambling, but I'm going to make the point. I'm hearing this from third parties because I never went to uni. But the reason most people come out of uni, in my opinion, from what I've heard and my opinion, what I've been able to decipher from what I've heard and what I've seen, is because people come out of uni and they're the same as everybody else. They've done their internships and all that kind of stuff, but you ain't got no hobbies. You ain't got any interesting books you've read. You're just your degree. You probably forget about your degree as well when you do finish. Because I know people that have done so many amazing courses, but they never talk about the things they learned in the courses. I know so many people that did philosophy that I've never spoken to about philosophy. And I will bring up things like politics and philosophy a lot.
Yeah, they're just
they don't they don't engage, probably because also one of my guys from my primary school and secondary school, I see him quite a bit sometimes when he's coming back from work, and he told me, and he's always been top set, all that kind of stuff, right? Went to a good grammar school for sixth form. He told me, Jonas, I'm just tired. He said, I'm tired of this. Because he's been locked in from when we were young. We were in top set together in reception year one, all that kind of stuff, until I stopped caring about school. He stayed in top set, whereas I dropped down sets because I just stopped caring. And he told me, Jonas, I'm just tired of always locking in, essentially. So I think that kind of being, I don't want to say bogged down, that's not the right word, but being just tired of it. Then transitioning into adult life, which is a shock to the system coming out of uni as well, right? So I think those two things, firstly, link to it. And then the fact that it's not really, in my secondary school, people wanted to be academic. There's this whole thing of it's not cool to be academic. I think there's certain things that people say which aren't true. People do see, firstly, it to be cool to be academic. I don't know where that rhetoric came from. Similar to this rhetoric that people say about, oh, my mandem don't let me cry. Again, this whole thing about that, my guys let me cry. Yeah, big up them. My guys let me cry.
Big up mandem.
There's guys out there that are cool with that. But maybe your people aren't. But you can meet people who are, right? You can meet people that are locked in on that. So I think it's also people's circle and surroundings as well. Because some people in their worlds, they think, no, none of my friends would ever go to a debate night or a lecture. The amount of my people who, when I just mention I've been to those places, the amount of people I meet who I mention I go to lectures and debate nights that tell me, Jonas, please put me on, like, let me know when you're next going. They can pull up with me. There's people interested in these things, but what people don't understand is there's so many fields of study. It's not just one thing. It's not just the maths, the Englishes, the sciences. There's linguistics, as I mentioned earlier, astronomy, methodology. There's so many topics, right? You've got to be interested in at least 2 or 3.
Yes.
Come on.
Exactly.
Like, so I think it's also a mindset thing, a mentality thing of I'm just tired of studying all the time, and sometimes you need a break.
Yeah, it's tough, you know, because like you mentioned that tired thing, and I think I completely agree. A lot of my friends are like that too, where they're just drained from just like how education is taught. I think to be
that because of the learning too, you have different learning styles as well.
You know what I mean? And it's like you go to uni and it's just tests and grades, and so you're just cramming to get past those tests.
Exactly.
So once you pass, you're like, I'm done with that. I'm never looking at that book.
Yeah, it's trauma.
You know?
Yeah.
But how are we traumatizing people from the stuff that they actually do care about? Exactly. So like that's a whole conversation about education system and how education can be done right. You know, I think that needs to be dissected and looked again, because the way we're doing education in this country is making people, like you said, burnt out from when they finish the courses. So what they do is that they leave there and they go into a job where they don't even care about anymore, because they got there and they're there and they're happy to be in that job, but they're happy for the stability rather than just the curiosity of being there.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's funny, actually, you're talking about that. So I used to work, I'm not going to say the organization I worked for in the past, but people will find out, to be honest. They'll probably go and stalk me on LinkedIn. But I used to work for an organization. I loved working there so much, bro. Like, I missed it. I miss my people there. I do miss my people there. And I do still talk to a few of them. But I left there. And the reason I left, I was 22, so this was last year. I left there. I wanted to stay, right? But I really deeped it, and I was like, if I stay here, do I think, from what I've seen in the last few months of my contract coming to an end, because it was the end of my apprenticeship, do I think I'm really going to grow and stretch the way I want to? I don't think I will, right? And there was stuff going on, and I was thinking there was stuff going on that wasn't really making. I'm not a problematic person, but there was stuff that was going on. I was just like, okay, noted, cool, interesting. Okay, this is how you're moving, cool, okay, interesting. I'm not going to make a fuss or throw my toes at the pram or down tools, but I've just noted that this is how you're conducting yourself, noting that my contract's coming to an end. And it's a thing where I don't think it was personal at all, right? I don't think it was personal, and I've got no beef with this organization at all. I'd actually go back and work there. I'd actually would go back and work for them. Like, I would. So it's a thing where what happened though was I saw the other organization. I was like, if I come here, I'm going to have more opportunities to grow as a project manager or project officer. I'm going to be able to grow my project management skills, be in a new sector, because now I'm moving to a charity. So I'm going to learn about the third sector now. It's in Central as well, so I'm going to be having the experience of traveling into Central, which I hate, by the way, now. I'm sick of it. But even, I just deeped it and thought, there's more, I was getting paid less. This other job that I moved to was paying me less than what my current organization were offering me. So I was like, I'm going to take less money now, which some people would think is crazy. I'm going to take less money now. I'm probably going to lose more money on travel as well, to be real, but I will grow more as a professional. I have more things to use in job interviews, and I'll meet so many more amazing people, right? Because my new project that I'd be working on was a Pan-London project rather than a borough project. So I'd be meeting people that aren't from the same area as me, right? So I said, I'm going to take that offer. So that right there was proof of lifelong learning, wanting to develop and be out of my comfort zone, right?
And betting on yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was people were saying, oh, it's a risky decision, Jonas. I wasn't thinking twice about it, because I was like, this is my life. If I make a mistake on it, I can learn from it. I was 22 at the time. I'm 23 now. Like, I'm good. I'm alive. I'm kicking. You know what I mean? I'm looking fresh. You know what I mean? I'm cool. I've learned a lot in the last year as well.
Exactly.
So,
you know what? I think this ties a lot back to what we were talking about before at the beginning about just like this education and just like, because I think where it can be encapsulated and it's like, how do you view yourself? Do you view yourself as just a tool to make money? Or do you view yourself as someone who's learning?
Exactly.
Like you introduce yourself as I'm someone on a journey of learning, and you're still curious, you're still learning. When you view yourself like that, the choices you make reflect that.
Yeah.
And so you're going to make a choice of actually what's the best place for me to grow, rather than what's the place that I'm stable and comfortable at.
Exactly.
Because it feels to me like if you just, I think that's what it's such a tragic thing about when people stop learning and stop like being interested in all these things. Because like you were saying before, like your friends, I want to go. They do still want to go. They have the motivation to go, but maybe it's not part of their habits. They just don't know where to go.
Yeah.
So that's maybe on the people that, you know, put these events on to kind of push it out there more. But when people start like getting into these places more, they start like having this like love for like learning, and then that I think is linked to like love for life.
Yes.
You know, and it's like a whole journey we're going on. And I feel like, and I wanted to ask the next question too, is like the question of like, do you feel like people will cap themselves? You know, like you were saying about how like you wanted to grow at this new place and not be not comfortable. You didn't say comfortable, but like not you understood that this place was somewhere you could also grow and expand. Do you feel like some people just, once they reach a certain stage, once they finish school, once they finish university, especially when it comes to learning, they just kind of like stop and they go like, okay, I've reached the ceiling. It's like, do you feel like there's a kind of invisible ceiling that people have amongst themselves, and they've kind of capped themselves and don't try to break through that, you know?
Yeah, I think so, because